Hello, guys. A wonderful good evening. It's Daniel Wagner here. Very excited with a very special guest tonight, and I can see there is quite a lot of you logging on time, which is fantastic. Let me just check a few things. Check the technology is working for you. So if you can please use your Q&A, your question box, and just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. All right. Get some answers here, which is good. All right. Good evening, Lee and Sam and Neville and some more. Craig, fantastic. Now we also have a special guest on the line tonight, and that is Mr. Dan Bradbury. So can I just check Dan?
Woohoo!
Ooh, hey, that's Dan. He's just come back from America, and can you hear Dan all right as well, guys? Give me some feedback.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
You're in for the best webinar of your life.
sounding very, very good. I'm glad you're excited as well, guys. So, Dan, I just noticed you still got Skype going on there, bouncing up and down. So, for our recording, it would be great if you can just disable that. And actually, I'll do the same. I'm gonna go on Do Not Disturb so we don't have messages
Yep,
pop up
let me
there.
just kill it.
Cool,
There we go.
fantastic.
Dead.
Great. So, Dan, we had a lot of feedback and questions about this marketing automation, and obviously we try to keep it a little bit exciting. So, maybe for the people who don't know so much about you from my list and from my students, can you just give us a little bit the 1 minute history of what qualifies you to talking about marketing automation tonight to us, Dan?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Daniel. Well, the very short version is I built a seven-figure business with just two employees, and the business doubled in size every year for the last 3 years during the greatest, so-called recession in recent history, and I'm confident that we'll be doubling again next year. So
Wow.
I've got a business that's booming, and I've got very few people, and the way I've done it is through marketing automation. And the slightly longer version, Daniel, is I had a business that was failing badly and got me into a lot of debt just a few years prior to that before I discovered the secret sauce that we'll be talking about on this webinar.
Fantastic. I mean, I know for certain that everything you're telling us tonight is true because I've not just seen you do it, but also experienced it myself. Many people will know that I've been part of your mastermind group for some time now, and you've been instrumental in helping me build my business. I'd be very happy to share that, and also say that some of the tools you shared with me and you showed me have been absolutely instrumental in creating our success here. And what most people don't know is that these are tools that are available and affordable for literally almost anyone today, and that automation is really what sets you apart in this ever more competitive marketplace. So, Dan, tell me a little bit what you did in America, because that is quite exciting as well. I know that you invest a lot into yourself and into your business, and you gave me a couple of quick updates from the US. But what did you do the last few days while we've been enjoying a very mild winter here in the UK?
Yeah. Well, actually, first of all, Daniel, I just want to say, I'm flattered by the compliment of you saying that, part of your success is down to what you learned from me. But, I just want to say for the record that that's not true. The way I like to see it is that all of your success is down to me. So just wanted to say that up before we
Excellent.
start the webinar. No, I've just been out the last few days in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've been spending some time at the offices of Infusionsoft, and I've been attending one of their programs because they are, well, not only are they leading experts in marketing automation, but they are also, the 10th fastest growing software company in America, and, one of the top 500 fastest growing companies in America, and they're growing by about more than 50% a year. And yeah, they're a huge success story, and I was getting some education from them to take me to the next level, to take me from the low seven-figure mark to upwards of 10 million, the eight-figure
Wow.
mark. So
I mean
I've been
that,
out there
that
learning
that's
some powerful stuff, and I'm sure we'll get to touch on some of that on tonight's webinar. So let's get started. I'm excited.
Awesome, awesome, good stuff. So I know there will be always a couple of people dropping in a bit late, but they just gotta be. It's tough, you know. If you come late, you're missing out on some of the good stuff. So I want to get started right away. So the webinar we're gonna run in two little parts. Dan's gonna cover most of the webinar, and I got a little bit of my own secret sauce to add right at the end of it, and that's something I'm looking forward to sharing as well. And this is just one aspect where I will share with you towards the end of the webinar how you can literally sextuple, if that is a word, create a 600% increase on your sales. And literally, I demonstrated that recently where we created £1,200 out of £200 in sales by just using some very, very simple automation techniques that all of you can use. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you towards the end of the webinar. Simple stuff that you can use to get 600% increase in your sales. But now, please get your pens out, take time out, full attention for Mr. Bradbury. So Dan, take it away.
Thanks, Daniel. Now, guys, firstly, to forewarn you, there is nothing for sale on this webinar. We've got a gift for you at the end, which costs nothing if you stay to right to the end, which will help you implement all the stuff that you will be learning on the webinar. So this is going to be rammed full of content. Consequently, I'm now taking literally a 3-hour presentation, and I'm getting my bit done in about 30 minutes. So this will go at quite a pace, okay? So what we'll do is we're going to fire through this so you understand the fundamentals. Then Daniel's going to illustrate it with some real-life examples of this stuff in action and the benefits to you of how you can massively increase your business, double your sales, and triple your profits in, next to no time. And then if we've got any time, we'll do any questions, but we'll see how we're getting on. So to kick us off, I've got a question for you. The question is, why did you start your business? Why did you start your business? Now, we're here to talk about marketing automation, but I think, when it comes to marketing automation, the first question you got to ask yourself is why? Well, yeah, it's to grow your business and make your business easier. But I think a lot of people get into business and they get so buried in what's going on. They get so wrapped up in the day-to-day grind and this and that and the other and firefighting, they forget. Why did you start your business? Was it because you wanted to be financially free? Was it because you wanted to spend more time with your family? Was it because you feel you have a gift that's meant to be given to the world? What is it for you? Just take a moment to reflect on that. Just call to mind, really, why are you doing this? Why on this webinar? What's it all for? And as you start to think of the answers, I've got a follow-up question. And that is, what did you spend, there should be a time in there, that's my editing the slides last minute. What did you spend time doing today? What did you spend your time doing today? Because I've got news for you. If you were spending time doing stuff that doesn't matter, getting wrapped up, getting caught up in the minutiae of bullshit, which is the experience of most business owners, especially small business owners, they get caught up doing things that aren't important. They aren't doing the most doing the things, the end outcomes of being in your business, i.e. Spending time with your family. You're still wrapped up in working in the business every hour that God sends. I was at home at 10 to 3 today because I have a system that allows my business to run virtual on autopilot. Now, some of you smart Alex might be saying, well, if it runs that much on autopilot, Dan, why are you at the office between about 10 o'clock and 10 to 3? And that is, in that time, I was spending my time doing the most critical things in my business, the things that I enjoy the most, working with clients, arranging high-level joint venture partnerships, things that require the personal touch that I absolutely love to do. And yet most business owners don't do that way because they've got 3 fatal flaws that they're not paying attention to. My bet is if you're on this call, there are 3 fatal mistakes, fatal in the sense that they will kill your business and kill your dreams that you're making. And I'm going to show you how you can automate, eliminate, and delegate that stuff so you can make it work seamlessly and effortlessly. So, what are the fatal flaws? Number 1, chaos. Most business owners have got, there's so much technology today. There's so many different Facebook and social media, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And then you've got e-commerce, and you've got shopping carts, and you've got autoresponder systems, and you've got just all these different processes and systems. And most people who are in business today, even if you're not in the slightest bit technologically inclined, most people are forced to use technology, and they've got all these multiple systems that they're trying to balance. The second thing is the second fatal flaw is waste and wonder. So there is a lack of a clear map being a marketing automation plan. So business owners wander around chasing the next sale, trying to grab the next opportunity that floats along. Nothing's systematic, nothing's automated, nothing's been planned out to work at optimal effectiveness. I mean, most business owners wonder why they're finding it so hard right now, because they're not squeezing every last drop of joy, every last drop of profit out of their business. They are wasting it and wandering around doing crap that is ineffective. And the third fatal flaw is lost opportunities or holes in the bucket. In other words, there are leads that are going cold because they're not being followed up on. Think about it. Think about, I think most people have had the experience of having emails in their inbox from customers, clients, etc., that need to be dealt with, but just because you get caught up or distracted or just from human error, it slips to the bottom of the inbox and you miss that opportunity, and by the time you come back to it, it's gone cold. So on this webinar, we're going to show you how to deal with that and how to eliminate that from your business so you can literally double your sales, triple your profits. Here's the exciting bit: with less effort. So, straight into the first point: chaos, multiple system madness. As I said, you've got SEO, you've got your website, you've got your social media, you've got contact management, you've got email marketing, you've got your calendar system. Everyone's got all these different systems that have all somehow got to be worked. You've got to export from Aweber and import into one shopping cart and all that kind of crap that just slows you down and prevents things from working. It's disjointed systems. It means that you are doing the manual work, or you're paying somebody to do the manual work, and there's a lot of anxiety. Things go wrong. Things break. You miss things because it's not in one place. So the question to you is this: what has multiple system madness cost you this year? How much time have you wasted doing that crap that doesn't matter? You need to get it all in one place, as I'll come on to and I'll demonstrate for you in a moment. The second fatal flaw: waste and wandering, having no map, that marketing automation plan. So imagine that you're in the city, and let's say you're at this red circle in the top left, and you're in this location. And I say your job in business, for this metaphor, is to get to the location in the bottom right-hand corner of this map. Now, if you've got the map, you can do it because you have a point A and a point B. You've got a clear outcome, a clear journey. But in business, there's normally multiple outcomes. And what this means is most people are lost. They never really think about the best journey. They might have a starting point, but they don't have a clear end point in terms of automating their marketing, or they have an end point but no start point, and they don't have a map that highlights the way to make everything, get everything you can out of all you've got, maximizing the resources, the database, the assets, the marketing that you've got, so they end up wandering around aimlessly. So, when you think about it, if you're honest with yourself, have you had a clear map, a clear strategy, a clear marketing plan this year? Some people think they have, but when I question them, I find out they've got a few great ideas, concepts. They've never got down into the detail that makes the whole thing work. It's nice to say, I'd like to build a car, I need an engine and a few, tires, but if the reality is more complex than that. You need to have a map, and once you get the system set up, it will crank for you, but you need to define the journey in the first place. The third third fatal flaw that is killing your business that we're going to solve on this webinar is lost opportunities, holes in the bucket. So this causes lost traffic, lost leads, and lost customers. How does this work? Well, if you think about the traditional customer life cycle, or the traditional sales funnel, if you will, there's a big old entrance to the funnel at the top. This is your leads. This is the marketplace. They get channeled down and qualified in some way for prospects. They get channeled down into becoming customers of higher and higher value. Most people are familiar with this traditional sales funnel. So you generate interest, and you're looking to sell to hot leads, and then you go and get new customers. And once you've got some new customers, sigh of relief. But what happens then? Once you've generated that interest, you get the leads, you convert them into customers, you breathe a sigh of relief. The money is in the bank. Ka-ching! Well then, those people just start over. They immediately just go back and try, always on this treadmill, trying to get more customers. I remember, Daniel, a few years ago working for our friend Andy Harrington. And Andy at that time had a big seminar company. And it was like we were all, even though this business was initially very successful, it was a multi-million-pound business, and thousands of people, tens of thousands of people attended their seminars every year. The problem was we didn't have a process to fill the holes in the bucket, which meant that as soon as we had some customers, we had to automatically go and start again and get some new leads. It was like we were on a treadmill that we couldn't get off. And ultimately, this multi-pound business that really delivered great value to its customers failed, put 20 people out of work overnight because it didn't have this process in place. So your business may not have failed. You may not have gone bankrupt yet, but if you're struggling along, perhaps you're caught on this treadmill. We're going to show you how to fix that. In other words, what most businesses do, even though a lot of people understand the concept of follow-up marketing, most never follow up. So here's the cost of you not following up. 81% of sales happen after 5 or more contacts from the company, i.e., 4/5 of your sales are going to occur after you've communicated with your customers at least 5 times, and ideally in 5 different, in multiple different types of media, not just adding them to a crappy auto responder sequence. Okay, and yet 85% of the time, most businesses stop after just 1 or 2 contacts. In other words, 17 out of 20 businesses only to follow up with leads and mail people once or twice about a particular offer. You might say, well, I've got an email list. I email my list regularly. Yeah, but you're not following up consistently about the right offer for those right target customers. What you're doing is just sporadically throwing emails at people and then waiting to see if they'll bite. That's not good, consistent follow-up marketing. Really diving down when 81% of the sales are to be found once you followed up on with the same offer 4 or 5 different times. And yet most people don't even follow up at all. So look, think about it this way. Most people go and find a niche market, and they might find a niche market, with 10,000 people in it, let's say, online, pay-per-click, or Facebook groups or whatever. And they either spend money or they spend their time to advertise to those people, and they get leads, don't they? They get, let's say, they get 100 responders. In other words, they go to these groups online and they run Facebook ads, and they get people to click the link, go to a squeeze page, and opt in for a free report, being the most cliche example I can think of. And then they follow up with those, or they send an email, or they give some kind of promotion to those leads, and out of those 100 responders, if you're lucky and you've got dynamite marketing, you may get 10 customers. And really, I've only actually done that to make the numbers round. Really, you probably only get 1 customer. But here's where your lost opportunity is. What happened to the other 90 responders? Because most people literally just run the numbers game, and they go, oh, yeah, there's all these leads, this niche market, we'll get people up to the list, we'll send them a promotion or a bit of a promotion, and we'll get some customers, and then we'll just keep on marketing and get more people into that funnel. But what happens to the 90 responders? Best, people add them to some crappy autoresponder series that's never really been optimized, never really been tested, never really been thought out. So that people fall through the cracks. There's zero follow-up in most cases. And what happens then is they'll go to your competitor. If somebody's opted into their lead, they're interested in the topic, and you don't follow up, there's a highly likely chance that they're actively looking. If they don't buy from you, they're going to buy from somebody else. As one of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, said to me one time, he said, the difference between salad and garbage is timing. The difference between salad and garbage is timing. In other words, even though with your marketing you can persuade somebody who's not that interested to become interested and buy, a lot of it is just about being top of mind. So when a customer is ready to buy and they're at their hottest, you're fresh in their mind and you're current. They can find you quickly and easily. So, it's all about timing to get the sale. Otherwise you're literally just throwing it in the bin. It's just rubbish. I mean, for example, right now I have no interest in buying another car. My wife and I, we have a car each, and we're very happy with them. We have a Mercedes 4x4 and another Mercedes, and we're very happy with them. And, might they be replaced? Yeah, we could, but I'm not actually interested. Now, if somebody had really great marketing, yeah, they could persuade me if there was the right offer. But equally, as soon as something goes wrong with that car, major issue with that car, that will probably prompt me to go, okay, I'm going to go buy a new car, trade it in, whatever, and get a new car, get a new model. And that's an example of timing. So who's going to get my business? Whoever's top of mind that's staying in touch with me consistently at that point. You are literally burning money if you don't follow up and you haven't optimized that follow-up. And again, we're going to give you some real examples in a moment, how you can optimize that follow-up, how you can optimize that strategy to ensure you're getting every possible sale out of every possible lead. And you're getting every possible lead out of every possible candidate, every possible prospect, every possible click to your website is optimized. So think about it this way. If using the system that we're going to show you on this webinar, the 90 people who don't buy initially, okay, what happens if you could just follow up with them consistently in an automated, optimized follow-up sequence with emails and text messages and webinars all running on autopilot, so that when you just chip away, you get 5 new customers, 5 new customers, 5 new customers through automated follow-up. If you did that, well, research shows you can only get double as many people in follow-up as you will from the initial offer. So in other words, in plain English, what that means to you is if you got 10 customers for a promotion, you can expect to get 20 additional customers for virtually no additional cost via webinars and emails, etc. For no additional cost if you have a systematic, thought-out, automated follow-up sequence. Take it one step further. You can automate the education that you give to potential clients. And if you automate the education, automate the marketing, automate the things that make them want to buy, you can eliminate time or money spent. You can also use this same strategy, not just to automate getting leads, automate the follow-up with leads, but also, and this is the one which is normally missed out, you can use it to automate your workflow so that you can make working with those customers easier, more effective. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to get testimonials consistently, just drip to you every day because they're being requested on autopilot, or getting referrals, or just getting feedback, or just, again, delivering your product in a more leveraged way? Here's my point. You need to simplify your systems. Get them in one place. You need to get clear on your strategy, your marketing automation plan. And again, once we show you these examples in a moment, that'll make it a lot easier for you. And you need to fix your follow-up failure. It is catastrophic what it's doing to your business. I can honestly say, Daniel, that the reason why my business has doubled in size year after year has not been because I've spent more money. I haven't. It's not because I haven't got more people. I haven't employed a new person for literally well, it's more than 2 years. It could be 3. I'm not sure, but it's literally years. So how have I done it? I've done it by focusing on marketing automation plans for different parts of my business. The bottom line, you can earn more cash with less effort. So how do you fix it? Good question. I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine the perfect customer life cycle. Think about it this way. If you got your ideal customer, they would probably follow a sales map or a life cycle. They'd go through logical steps. And each one of these steps, you can see at the bottom of your screen right now, you can create a marketing automation plan for each step. In other words, attracting traffic. Can you automate that process? Of course you can with Facebook ads, Google AdWords, etc. You can automate a lot of that. You can capture the leads automatically. You can nurture those prospects and educate them. You can automate them getting in the webinars. You can automate the webinars themselves. You can automate the getting them to show up to the webinars. You can automate the conversion of those people into sales, into customers. You can automate the delivery of that product and follow up to make sure that they're happy with the product, answering the frequently asked questions, making sure they get their receipt, etc., etc. You can automate additional upsells and offers that you can make to them, both immediately and after the fact. And you can automate getting further referrals, getting testimonials, so that it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. So, need to give you some examples of how to do it. But one quick point before we go into the real-life examples, and I'll hand over to Dan in just a second. Here's the best thing I can say to you. Everything we've discussed so far is just big picture stuff. We're gonna illustrate you with a few fun examples in a moment, but really it's just about starting small and executing. Think about it this way. You already have an idea of what some of the things that you need to do. Like some of you either capture leads and don't have a follow-up sequence, you're not automatically marketing them consistently, or to be honest, you just threw that crap together, didn't you? You just threw a couple of emails together in an autoresponder sequence saying, hey, go buy my stuff. It's not really the best it can possibly be. Yet every single prospect that's coming into that funnel is seeing that sequence. So you've got to start small and you've got to execute. And then ask, what can I automate next? Well, if you go back to this map, we're going to chunk down into one example or two examples from this very pipeline now. But if you really thought about it and thought about this map and put your business on top of this perfect customer life cycle of attracting traffic, capturing leads, nurturing prospects, and thought, how can I automate and optimize, keyword, optimize each of these steps, you could find ways to do it. And there's a really cool strategy that Daniel's going to share with you in a moment of how you can add numbers to this line. So you're not just talking about it conceptually, but you're actually adding statistics to this line so you can measure the improvements and see compound growth. So ask what you can automate next. Here's what marketing automation can do for you. This is me winning a Porsche Cayman at the Infusionsoft Marketer of the Year contest a couple of years back. I started a business. I had one part-time employee, and I went from 0 to $848,000 in sales in 10 months. And it was all automated, systematic process. It was a dream come true. And because I did it so well, using Infusionsoft, which is, you don't need Infusionsoft to do all this automation stuff, but to my mind, it is the best tool bar none, so why would you not? I did such a good job that they decided to give me a Porsche to reward me for my efforts, which was, well, it was nice. So, how do you implement these ideas? Well, on December the 15th, in just less than a couple of weeks' time, I'm doing an event, a small event, where I'm going to be educating you and teaching you how to, in the workshop, we'll be creating your custom marketing automation plan for you, for your business specifically. So if you come to this event, which will give you the details at the end, come to this one-day event out at Heathrow. I'm going to show you how to do each step and literally do it in the room for your business. So if you like the concept of what we talked about, what we've spoken about so far, and again, we're going to give you some real examples in a moment, but at this one-day event, if you want to have somebody literally hold your hand and walk you through the process to creating your custom marketing automation plan for your business, so regardless of what system that you can use, you can get this set up and transform your business and transform your life forever, you need to get your diary free on the 15th of December and come and join me at the park in Heathrow. But we'll come back to that in a moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand you over to Mr. Wagner, because I've spoken theory. He's going to put some meat on the bone, so to speak. So let me hand you back. Oh, I've got three of you, Daniel, here. So
yeah. Wait, I'll think I requested myself, mate.
Okay.
Now, Dan, I really want to thank you. Some of these things, you and I look at this and think, yeah, that's obvious. But I remember, like yesterday, when I saw this for the first time, when you shared with me some of that knowledge and insight. And I can only say it's totally blown me away. And I put my hand up. I was one of those that just threw together a few messages. I thought, hey, I actually got an autoresponder sequence, which is already amazing and a breakthrough for many. But if it's not strategic, then you leave money on the table. And I mean, I am very guilty of that. This big rubbish bin, I don't even want to think about how much money I threw away, how many clients I left on the table, and how many people have worked with competitors instead. And not because they had a better product, but because I didn't follow up strategically. So this is a work in progress.
Literally, Daniel, literally, conservatively, even if you don't do it particularly well, you can expect to double or treble your business. So in other words, remember I gave the example earlier, you can have 10 people buy initially. There's normally at least twice as much again to be had from just having a simple automated process. But obviously, as you're about to show, if you have processes that double or treble each different part in that perfect customer life cycle, just to click back to it, each part in that's when you get a 10, 15, 20, 50, 100-fold increase in your business. That's where you go from scraping a living at 30 or 40 grand a year to literally a multi-million-pound business by optimizing each of these parts of the business. And that's exactly, we're talking about it conceptually here, we're illustrating it with a few examples, but if you guys want to literally have me hold your hand and help you do this within your business for free, I'm going to be doing it at this one-day event. There is a catch, and we will come back to that at the end. So, Dan, I haven't had a request from you. Do you want me to try transferring it to you?
Yeah, I think I should be fine. Can I just have a show of hands? I wanted to say, can I have some feedback if you guys can see my screen?
Oh, yeah, got you.
Yeah, is it coming up? Perfect. You see my screen there?
Yep.
Excellent.
So, I do.
So what I want to do is here actually show just one example from one campaign. And when I mean campaign, it means there's a bit of strategy behind. And what Dan's just outlined is here one little classic example I wanna share with you. So let's go to these slides, and I want to share with you in the next 5 minutes how you can turn a £200 sales result into £1,200 with two little additions to what Dan just mentioned. These are just two marketing methods. One is called text messaging, and the other one is called one-click webinar registrations. And let me just outline a little bit what I mean by that. So automation, as Dan has mentioned, is all about leverage. It's all about making more of what you got. And Dan has used software and systems more than people. And most people think of, if I want to achieve more, I need more people. And this is when you start creating a rope you hang yourself with, or a rod for your back, as they say, because people think, I need more staff, I need a better office, I need more kit. And that's really leverage, but it's a very dangerous way of leveraging yourself because of the cost. The second thing is you can do systems, and Dan talked about delivering systems, automation in systems to get more leverage. Membership sites, having processes in place that automatically create testimonials for you or referrals. And then the smart people like Dan and like myself and all of our top students, they use software wherever they can. And Infusionsoft is the star of this show tonight, and using things like PayPal or Infusion Power Tools or some of the stuff I want to share with you tonight, that is really how you can create 100 times more than what you do right now without changing your business model, not selling something magic, not more people in your funnel, but just making more from what you got. So here is a couple of reasons why I want to touch on these two little additions to what you might be running already. So most people just use autoresponders. They just send messages out, and they're very badly written. They're not sequential. They don't follow a story, and yet they're making more sales than many others. But I just want to focus today on all the stuff you're leaving on the table, on the money that is not collected by you. It is almost as if we send you checks with your name on it, and you don't go to the bloody bank and actually cash them in. And that's really wrong. You know, it's your money, it's got your name on it, you got to go and collect it. And running a webinar, what we do tonight, for example, is such an easy way. You can sell higher ticket products. And by the way, tonight, all we're going to do is invite you to a free event. We just want to sell you tonight on the idea of using automation in your business. And we use text message marketing. And why do we do it where we can today? Because you get almost 100% open rate. People open their text messages. Actually, the statistics say that 87%, if you want to write it down, 87% get opened within the first 23 seconds. Okay? Now compare that to an email where maybe 2 days later people get to their emails and normally just drag it straight into the bin or into the spam folder. So text message marketing is pretty new, it's very easy to implement, and it will add to your success. Remember, Dan said that 81% of people buy after 5 or more contacts, and this is not just 5 emails with the same boring content. We're talking an email, talking a webinar, an SMS message, a phone call, different ways of talking to them. So I believe, and this is from my own experience, that webinars and SMS together are pretty much perfect to increase your sales conversion. And I want to share with you one specific example. So here is a set of tools. This is a piece of software that I had written during the summer this year, and I had it specifically written to make Infusionsoft, which is the one that Dan talked about, that manages your whole customer journey, the perfect sales cycle, to add a couple of extra magical bits to Infusionsoft. And this little software allows you to integrate text messaging and one-click webinar registration directly from Infusionsoft. Now what that means, and actually everyone tonight is a testimony for that process, because all of you, instead of having to go to a webinar form and putting in your name and your email address, you've just been registered automatically because you used that Infusion Power Tools thing automatically in the background, and that helped me to achieve better sales results. Let me highlight exactly what it is. By the way, it's not for sale tonight, but that tool retails for £1,000 a year, and that is an absolute bargain. I can show you today how this tool, just used once, and not within a whole year, just once, has generated more than £1,000 in extra profit by using those two little extras here, text messaging and GoToWebinar registration. So this is something that actually I learned from my good friend Dan Bradbury some time ago. It's called a sales map, and I've seen it first in one of his events, and I want to enlighten you here what's going on here. Now on the left, and you remember Dan had this great drawing with all these things about leads and then conversion all the way to making sales. Now here on the left hand side, let's say you have a database of 2,000 people. You're sending 2,000 emails out, okay? Now I keep those numbers very, very simple. They're rounded to make the maths easier. But let's say 200 people actually open your email. That would be an open rate of about 10%. When people open that email, about half of them click the link that says, hey, amazing marketing automation webinar is happening, and Dan Bradbury is going to show the secret of his success. And guess what? Only half the people who read that email click on the link. And then they arrive at a webinar registration page, and there are 3 fields to fill out, and maybe there's a question. And guess what? and this is unbelievable, but half the people only of the ones who said they were interested actually managed to complete that form. And even worse, because the webinar is 2-3 days later, only 40% of people, that means 20, actually turn up. And then when you have something for sale on these webinars, my experience from the last few years, normally you sell around 10%, maybe 20, but let's say 10% again to keep the numbers easy. So let's say you had an offer for £100. That means you have made £200. Let me quickly run through those numbers for you. So let's look all the way on the left. You start with 2,000 emails. 10% of these emails sent are opened, which is 200. 50% of those emails opened click the link. From those 100 people who clicked the link, only 50% actually registered for the webinar. That's 50 people. 40% of those turn up, 10% buy the product, and you made £200. Now, okay, that's not bad. It's pretty much automated. All you have to do is run a webinar. But let me show you that this is the old way, the email to webinar. And I promise you, sending more emails to the same people will not necessarily create the desired results. But let me show you some really cool stuff here. Look at some new numbers. This is the new way. This is email to one-click webinar with SMS reminders. And these are both things that we just bolted on to our Infusionsoft automation. Now, first of all, excitingly, if you look on the right-hand side, we got an outcome of £1,200 to previously £200. So another £1,000. And what have we done differently? If you look all the way on the left, we only have sent 2,000 emails. And guess what? The open rate hasn't changed, because there's still only 10% of people opening their email. Guess what? The click rate hasn't changed. Only half the people are interested in the message and click. But here's where the message starts. Because we're using one-click automation, a full 100% of all the people who clicked that link are now registered on that webinar. Okay. Now here is a bit of mathematical error, I think. I don't know how 120 people can attend the webinar from 100 registrations. Let me just look at those numbers quickly. 60% has turned up, which makes it 60. By the way, 60 people would turn up, attend the webinar, and then converting more people to buy would give me that massive increase in numbers. So if you look at here, the same story happening all the way through, and there's only two numbers which are different. 100% of people turn up at the webinar because we have automated one-click registration, and then we have 60% compared to 40% turning up to the webinar because we're using automated SMS reminders. And again, that is fully integrated with Infusionsoft. That means we don't have to export data and import data. Remember when Dan talked about disconnected systems right at the beginning? That is what people do, and this is why they don't do it. Because to export your names and then import into another tool and write the message, and then you don't know who's coming and who's not coming, this is all total mess. So what this is here is just one tiny example how there is £1,000 of free money sitting in your list, and I've done exactly the same thing. I've just done it a little bit smarter. I've done it a little bit better. So if we compare those two, you can see here a massive increase in revenue, in profit, from just using two little things. Everything else staying the same. We got the same amount of people to talk to. We got the same offer. We got the same email we're sending out. We got the same link in there. But we have automated registration, and we have follow-up text messages to make sure that people actually get to the webinar. And the more people attend, the more people hear your message, and the more you can obviously do. So what I'd love to do is actually talk to you about that special event that Dan has mentioned. Dan is literally an Infusionsoft wizard, and he will spend on Thursday, the 15th of December, literally the whole day, starting at 11 a.m., so very convenient to arrive if you live a little bit further away, 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. at the Park Inn in London Heathrow, to create your personalized marketing automation blueprint. Now, Dan has earlier shown you the spreadsheet, the kind of matrix, and the idea of the event is that you will walk away with your own personalized marketing blueprint. I will be co-hosting the event with Dan. I will be sharing on stage a couple of live examples of using SMS marketing with Infusionsoft and using the one-click webinar registration with Infusionsoft, and sharing with you how easy it is for you to automate that and get more money out of the same list, out of your same prospects. Now, I don't think I have to emphasize that next year and a few years ahead in the UK and in the world economy is going to be not an easy time, and there's only going to be a handful of people who can benefit from the difficulty in the market. And marketing automation, keeping a slim, very kind of nimble operation is definitely one of the things that will discriminate between winners and losers in the next few years. If you want to grab a free place on that marketing automation blueprint event, simply go to wagnerwatson.com/blueprint. You will end up on the page you see here in that slide, and you simply complete that form to get more information about the event. It's a totally free event, but as Dan said, there's a little catch, and Dan, I'll let you talk about the little catch, the little trade-off for getting 5 hours or 4 hours of absolute killer information from an expert like yourself.
Sure, sure. So there's actually two catches. The first is we are to attend this event, you have to bring your firstborn child, who we're going to sell into. No, bad joke. Well, there's two catches. First of all, why the hell are we doing this event? Very simple. Infusionsoft are paying for Daniel and I to do this event, and the reason why they're doing that is they're rapidly expanding into the UK market. So we're doing this event and giving you a day of pure content so that we can have approximately 20 minutes, maybe as much as half an hour, but certainly no more than that, at the end of the day, where we tell you all about Infusionsoft and why we think you should use Infusionsoft to implement the marketing automation plan that you'll come up with on the day. That's the catch. So, and if you're not happy, you haven't had great value, you can leave at that point. There's, no restrictions on you to stay, but that's why we're doing this event, because I know, and you can read all the details of this, by the way, at the page at wagnerwatson.com/blueprint. I know that if you attend this day and you see, you create your marketing automation plan and you hear what we have to say about Infusionsoft, you'll see why Infusionsoft is clearly the best tool to get all this stuff implemented. And the second catch is, whilst it is a free event, because it's Christmas time, the hotel availability is scarce. So what that means is we are locked into a certain size room at the park in Heathrow. Genuinely, I don't remember what size that room is. I think it's 90 people. I could be a little bit off on that one way or the other. But regardless, what that means to you is we don't really have much option to go hunting around for big hotels because of all the Christmas parties and all that kind of stuff that's going on at that time. It's been hard to get the room. So your two catches are, at the end of the day, we're going to be telling you about Infusionsoft and why we think you should use that software to implement the marketing automation blueprint that you come up with. You could do it on other systems and make it work, and it would still be an invaluable day to attend, even if you don't have Infusionsoft or don't buy it. But I think you'll see that Infusionsoft is the way to go. And the second thing is, the second catch is, clearly it's first come, first serve. Daniel and I are just speakers at this event. This is an Infusionsoft sponsored event. They're paying for everything, and once the room's full, that's it. And there may be some more events next year, but there's no guarantees. So if you want to get this set up to start the new year with a bang, get yourself over to wagnerwatson.com/blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Dan, it's an absolute no-brainer. I mean, I am passionate about sharing the story of Infusionsoft because I know what it's done for my business, but also what it's done for everyone I recommend this to. I just had a conversation today with a good friend of mine that most of you will have heard about, Stuart Ross from Six Figure Mentors, who literally told me today they last month have turned over $200,000 and he thanked me. He called me to thank me for building his business on Infusionsoft. He said, without that, I would not be where I am today. And, for me, it was a no-brainer. I said, of course, Infusion, what else? And we moved his whole business onto this Infusionsoft platform, and that allowed him to tenfold, that's 1,000% increase to what he's done last year before we put Infusion in his business, because it is automated at every level. And I have actually two of my friends come along who are existing Infusionsoft users, just to pick up one or two tricks from Dan and working through the marketing map. And actually, I know that James will be there as well with his marketing blueprint map, and seeing if we can pick up a few things for our business, because there's always one or two things you pick up. So if you're brand new to this, you gotta see that, and I wish I could have started with that. I was in the place that Dan talked about, the disconnected systems. I had import from Aweber and one shopping cart and this and that. If you're starting brand new, that is the tool to use, so you never need to upgrade, you never need to go anywhere else. If you're an existing Infusion user and you don't use it yet, please come along. And if you're right now feeling there is possibly some money you leave on the table, I've shown you one example where I found another 600% profit in my business by using just two little strategies. I mean, there is so much you need to learn. I mean, Dan Bradbury is for me the conversion wizard, and he does it all with Infusion. The business he runs
Well,
with
Daniel,
just...
here's an interesting point, Daniel, just to kind of drive this thing home. 2 points, actually. The first one, on your little sales map that you did, and you only optimized 2 parts to get that increase, the thing is, on the day, I can show everybody who's there on the 15th of December how they could also use Infusion to do things like split test email subject lines and email content. So you could have increased those percentages as well. So there's all kinds of different things that can be done and automated and improved with Infusionsoft that will just, again, rather than a 300 or 600% increase, you start talking about a multi-1,000% increase on where you would have been if you just did it cold.
I remember, Dan, in 2008, you're the person who showed me first a one-click upsell. I mean, that's something that you shared with me that I didn't even know was physically possible. And again, through Infusionsoft, we can actually implement where people with one click can buy another product or service. So a £100 sale might turn into a much bigger number for you. So the opportunities and possibilities are truly endless here. But as Dan said right at the beginning, you got to start small and execute. But it's really great to have someone in the room who's built a multi-7-figure business with Infusion, with skeleton staff in our industry, in the personal development and service industry. It's just amazing. And I'm just very excited that Infusionsoft lets us run this event and share the message, because it's cool.
Yeah, and when they figure out that we're both crazy, they may not let us do it again. So this is your chance. So
this is why you said it might be. This is why you said it might be the only event, yeah. Because once they found out what we're actually sharing there, they might not let us run another. So it might be your only chance to see the two Dans running an Infusionsoft event. So guys, if you haven't done so, then now is the time to go to wagnerwatson.com/blueprint, grab your seat. Those tickets, those seats will go. I mean, I'm very lucky that Dan and I, because we're co-promoting this, we're the first people who actually put that message out. But you will hear more about this event from other sources. They will promote it in other ways. But I wanted you guys to have the first bite of the cherry. Grab those tickets first. Currently, it's just me and Dan who know about that event, allowed to promote it. But by the end of the week, these seats will go on public availability. So grab your ticket right now. Please, if you complete that form, make sure you do turn up. Don't block the seat from somebody who really needs that information. That is really very, very, very good information that can help you grow your business, or will definitely grow your business. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. And by the way, just to answer the obvious question, if the page is already gone when you get over there, if it's missing, if it's not working, it's because the event has already sold out. So I don't know whether that'll happen after this webinar or whether that'll happen later this week after we've had some more joint venture promotions. But unfortunately, if there's a big sold out sign up there, it means that you were too late. And just to handle the other question, A few people have asked if we are going to be recording this event. It's certainly not my intention to be, and it's actually Infusionsoft's event, so it's their core, and I don't believe that they have any intention of recording it. So really, your chance to benefit from this is to be at the live event. All right,
Cool.
Dan, I can smell my tea. I have a beautiful shepherd's pie waiting on the table downstairs for me, so it is time to say goodnight.
Yeah, just to answer the question, but Dan, I'll stay on the line a little bit more and answer those questions. You enjoy your tea. Thanks so much for coming on the line tonight, and I look forward to catching up with you on the 15th. All the best.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Daniel. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye for now.
Awesome. James, are you on the line as well? Okay, I'm not sure if James actually is on the line, but I have a couple of answers here for people who said they.
I am Daniel.
Oh, cool,
I'm just
cool,
muted
buddy.
myself.
All right, no worries. It looks like Money said that she can't get through on the page. If you can just double check, that's all working as desired. Should be
Yeah,
really
it's all working fine, Manny.
Okay.
You are using a misspelling, Manny. That's the first time, so it definitely works. You have to
Okay,
click on the link.
excellent.
I've answered your question in the message. It definitely works.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Yeah, what we can also do, we can actually send the link through in the chat window to everyone, so you can just actually
Yeah, I've
use
done that
that.
as well.
Oh, perfect.
Everyone should
Thanks,
have
buddy.
it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, so that was it, guys. We want to keep it short and sweet today. I'm personally looking forward to filling up my marketing automation map and getting some more little details tweaked to achieve even better results. That's really it, guys. Any more questions, let me know. Now would be the right moment to do that. Okay, we got a few people say I've just registered fine. So Kylie registered and Sam registered and Money registered. So that's fantastic. I think it's all working now. Cool, cool, cool. Fantastic. Oh, any more questions from your end, James? Or are we good?
No, I don't think so. I think Mahesh's question was any other dates available, but I think you answered that this is a
Yeah,
one-off
unfortunately,
event. That was
Mahesh, this
pretty
is
clear.
a one-off. We're lucky that we got that date. I would really urge you, Mahesh, if there's any chance to move things around to be there. I know it's a little bit short notice. We've done it as early as we can, as quick as we can to get people to that event. All right, guys, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to seeing the ones who made the decision tonight there. And that's really it for tonight. Marketing automation is really the key to achieving a lot of your dreams, getting the profits that you deserve. And Infusionsoft, in my eyes, is the tool to do it with. So all the best, and we'll catch up very soon. Bye bye.